Hi Rumians, I'm Druzhnik. Thank you for being here. Great news, I am back. And even greater news, Crusader Kings III is out. I will be playing the game on my channel, of course. There's a kitty cat behind me attacking a cat tree. I've had about 10 hours with Crusader Kings thus far, and I love it. Big L-O-V-E, love. But I also wanted to discuss something else. 5 notable differences between Crusader Kings II and Crusader Kings III. Now, please note that these are not the only differences between the two games, and these are also not necessarily the most important differences. These are simply differences that I've noticed while playing the game. The ones that stood out the most to me. So, it's up to you what you think of this, but these 5 things stand out to me the most. Intrigue, most notably hooks and secrets. Feudal contracts. Warfare, most notably occupation and men-at-arms. Roleplay, acting against or according to character and lifestyle. Now again, these are not the only differences between CK2 and CK3. These are simply things that stand out to me in my first 10 hours with this game. So, let's dive in. Intrigue has been changed with the addition of hooks and secrets. Secrets are things someone has done, for example, murder somebody else, that they would prefer remain in the shadows. If you uncover a secret, you can blackmail this person to get a hook. The same can be done to you if someone finds your secret. Hooks can be weak or strong. A weak hook can be used once, and then it disappears. A strong hook, however, can be used many, many times over. It is a fantastic way to get someone to do what you want, even when it's something they really don't want to do. But if you know that they are an adulterer, a witch, a kinslayer, or have any number of other sins to their name, they might just agree to do what you want in return for your silence. I've used a hook before to get my king to agree to waive reasons to imprison me, making me a free man again in the eyes of my liege. Very, very good. You can ask your spy master to dig for secrets in someone's court. Sometimes events pop up on their own and you spontaneously learn of another's secret. Be very, very wary of parties, for alcohol can loosen tongues, even your own. Feudal contracts are new to the game. Each of your vassals has their own feudal contract that you can adjust to your liking, for example, making them pay more or less tax, or providing you with more or fewer levies. These adjustments influence the way the vassal looks at you. You can therefore use these contracts to appease a difficult vassal or tighten your reins on them. You can use hooks to make them accept the change to their contract if the changes you're proposing are not to their liking. Other elements of the feudal contract can include providing your vassal with a special contract influencing taxation, levies, army maintenance, and prestige to a larger degree. These are culturally determined contracts, however, and are not necessarily available to you straight away. You can also change the succession rights in a vassal's territory, the right to declare wars on their own, guarantee them a seat on the council, they like that, or promise never to revoke their title. They like that too. If you are a vassal, don't forget you can press for changes in your feudal contract as well. And conversely, if your liege has a hook on you, they might change your contract in a way you might not necessarily approve of. Now, warfare. Compared to CK2, warfare seems more fleshed out, with larger terrain effects, think Imperator Rome, and with a higher variety in unit types. We still have the standard levies that can be raised in your territories and in those of your vassals. The levies are basically lunch meat, cannon fodder, the self-sacrificing vanguard. Aside from those levies, you could train men-at-arms regiments. These are standard sets of unit types plus some culturally determined ones, such as the light horsemen called konni in the Polish culture. Men-at-arms cost money to train and then a monthly fee for their upkeep. But they are much stronger than levies and can be upgraded to larger sizes. They have their own strengths and weaknesses in certain types of terrain and against certain types of units. And they have their own role in the phase of the battle, with horses, for example, being useful to pursue fleeing enemies. But terrain matters too. Be mindful of the composition of your army and the terrain you will be fighting in to determine whether you have a chance to win. Compared to CK2, your victory is now no longer guaranteed if you simply have a larger army than your enemy. Terrain matters, army composition matters, and your knights matter. Speaking of which, you will now have access to a certain amount of knights, nobles with very good equipment who will personally ride into battle with you or for you, and can function as commanders of your army. These knights are very useful as they usually have a pretty nice kill count and can definitely make or break a battle, so make sure you employ good knights if you can. One particularly useful regiment of men-at-arms you can recruit are siege weapons, such as onagers or mangonels. These are helpful when trying to occupy territories by sieging down baronies. Siege weapons will help you siege down a fort much faster. You can also still assault forts if you have done enough damage to their walls. This will speed up your siege progress, but also cause you casualties. Sieging down a county's main barony grants you the control over the county as a whole. So when you're looking at the map, make sure you target the right part of the county to actually siege it down. Winning a war, or losing it, works the same as in CK2. If the war score reaches 100%, one side can enforce its demands on the war is over. Counting towards war score are things like occupying counties, especially the war target, holding important people prisoner, and the results of battle. Occupying the war target grants you a ticking war score in your favor. Winning a war grants you fame and prestige. Your allies will gain prestige as well based on their war contribution. This means aiding an ally in their war can net you some nice prestige as well. If you press someone's claim, you will also gain a hook when you win a war. At least, that's how it has worked for me thus far. All in all, wars are more strategic now than they were in CK2, which definitely is an improvement in my eyes. However, it does take getting used to. I've lost some battles stupidly because I insisted on sending my horsemen into the mountains where, well, this is not Skyrim. Finally, the two aspects I love the most because they are related to roleplay: acting according to or against your character, and lifestyle. Your character influences the decisions you are likely to make. In my case, here I am, the drunkard King Bolesław III of Poland. I am a just man. Seriously, I am. Which means that if I act unjustly, I will gain stress for it. When you gain so much stress that you get a mental breakdown, you develop negative traits that allow you to cope with your stress. In my case, I took to the ale and sequestered myself away, neglecting my responsibilities in my happy drunk bliss. No, that's not why I've been gone from YouTube for 3 months. Thankfully, there are ways to deal with stress. You can throw a party or go on a hunt, or you can attend someone else's party. But, as I said, it might be risky if you've murdered someone and don't particularly want the world to know about it. Anyhow, while at a feast, King Bolesław III got drunk and woke up next to someone other than his wife. Whoops. These things happen. It's good to be king. But what to do next? Since the king is callous, taking a lover will give more stress. You can choose to do this, of course, if you want, but do it too often and you'll have a mental breakdown faster than a bunny can reproduce. Acting against character can be fun, as well as acting according to your character. This mechanism gives a whole new dimension to the roleplay we love to imagine while playing CK2. Now it is simply more rewarding. Or more punishing. Your lifestyle also affects the way you play and how your character develops, as well as how others in the world see you and react to you. Much like in CK2, you can choose between a diplomacy, martial, intrigue, stewardship, or learning focus. Each of these has 3 main focuses you can choose from, and I don't know if that's proper English, and something akin to a skill tree with a nice trait at its end. During your life, you gain skill points with which you can unlock perks. Depending on your education, you will earn points in a certain tree faster than in others. One interesting perk in the intrigue skill tree, for example, is the twice schemed perk, which allows you to have not just 1, but 2 hostile schemes. Nice! There are many gems out there to grab, and these have a great effect on how you play your character. Will you kidnap and murder your way through life? Or will you sway your vassals, charmingly talking them into submission? These choices are now not random, and so you have great control over who you are and want to be. I, for one, am enjoying these changes immensely, as you can see in my drunk king. So, These are my 5 observations. What do you think of them? What else stands out to you in CK3 as opposed to CK2? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. It helps out immensely. A Let's Play for Crusader Kings III will follow very soon if you're watching this video live. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.